One of the original 8 weight classes in boxing was home to some of the greatest pugilists ever to grace the sport while in their prime. Some of the pound-for-pound finest in history cemented their greatness at lightweight. Here, we will go through 5 of the best to play their trade at 135 pounds. 5. Ike Williams. Ike Williams would have been a serious problem for any lightweight at any point in history. He was a brilliant 135-pounder. Williams was game, fast, and powerful. These traits were used to devastating effect with his lightning-quick combinations and pinpoint precision, utilized behind his spidery 5 feet 9 inches frame. Williams terrorized the lightweight division for the best part of a decade. He grabbed a lightweight strap in 1945, demolishing the brilliant Juan Zurita in 2 rounds, having established himself 4 months prior in a similarly devastating fashion against Dave Castillo in 5. In 1947, Williams became undisputed and lineal champion with arguably his greatest lightweight performance, a 6-round revenge demolition job of one-time conqueror Bob Montgomery, who found himself helpless on the ropes against the most destructive technical puncher in lightweight history. Williams defeated a list of Hall of Famers, including Montgomery, Bo Jack, Sammy Angat, Tippy Larkin, Johnny Bratton, Willie Joyce, and Kid Gavilan. If the victories against Angat and Gavilan were at lightweight, Williams may have ranked even higher on this list, but those wins were at welterweight. 4. Pernell Whitaker. The man known as Sweet Pea is arguably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of the 1990s. Amongst fighters of whom extensive footage exists, Pernell Whitaker is the greatest defensive pugilist, not just at lightweight, but in all of boxing. Sweet Pea is by far the best lightweight of the last 40 years, and possibly the most dominant lightweight ever. He may not have been the ruler of the greatest lightweight era, but maybe that was down to Whitaker's pure dominance. It could have been a more competitive era without his presence, but he made it the Whitaker era, and nobody could compete. Aside from that extremely controversial Jose Luis Ramirez decision loss, Whitaker's only loss at lightweight, nobody came remotely close to beating Whitaker at 135 pounds during his nearly 3-year reign of 8 title defenses. He cleaned out his division without any challenges. It was not an edge-of-your-seats, captivatingly thrilling reign like Roberto Duran's reign of terror over the 135 pounds division in the 70s or Mike Tyson's heavyweight reign in the late 80s, but one could not have asked for more from Whitaker's lightweight reign. The ease with which Whitaker consistently dominated ranked challengers at lightweight has yet to be replicated at 135 pounds, before or since. If Whitaker had competed in a stronger era, he likely would have been placed higher on this list. Whitaker's best wins at 135 pounds include Roger Mayweather, Greg Haugen, Ramirez, Freddie Pendleton, Louis Lomeli, Azuma Nelson, Juan Nazario, and Jorge Paez. The southpaw Whitaker was one of the most skillful, naturally gifted fighters ever. 3. Joe Gans. Gans etched his name in the history books as one of boxing's greatest pioneers, packing 173 fights into 16 years before he died from tuberculosis at only 35 years of age. Gans triumphed despite significant racial bias to reign supreme. The first black boxing champion is credited with popularizing the basic techniques of footwork, blocking and counterpunching, and inventing the uppercut. He was one of the most intelligent fighters to have ever lived, and his remarkable skills earned him the nickname the Old Master. With 14 successful title defenses against excellent competition, the revolutionary Gans had the lightweight credentials to be one of the greatest of them all. The fact that such a pioneer of the sport is only 3rd on this list is a testament to the rich history and talent of the 135 pounds division. 2. Benny Leonard. Arguably the finest ever when it comes to the technical aspects of the sweet science. The great Benny Leonard reigned supreme over the strongest lightweight division of all time, and such was his dominance that he rarely lost a round in competition. Leonard, competing in the 1920s, was way ahead of his time. He had perfect balance, floating in and out like a ballerino, elusive and hard to hit, with fast hands and feet, a brilliant jab, and a destructive right hand. A true student of the sport, place Benny Leonard in the 21st century, and he would still be dominant and cement himself as an all-time great. Numerous great fighters were defeated by Leonard, including Richie Mitchell, Johnny Kilbane, Lou Tendler, Johnny Dundee, Willie Ritchie, Rocky Kansas, and Freddie Welsh. 1. Roberto Duran's introduction to the world as a vicious fighting machine and champion at lightweight was when he violently dethroned champion Ken Buchanan in 1972, but his reign of terror at lightweight had started even before that and didn't end until he unified the title with a demolition of Esteban de Jesus in 1978. At 135 pounds, Duran defeated great fighters like Guts Ishimatsu, Villamar Fernandez, Edwin Viruet, and Hector Thompson. No one ever ruled the division so viciously, and in a brutal sport like boxing, that counts for something. Back up the ferocity with longevity and pure dominance, and you have an unmatched champion. 13. 0 in title fights with a single loss to De Jesus in a non-title fight, avenged twice with the prize on the line. Duran proceeded to win titles in 3 other weight classes, but lightweight is where Duran was at his best, and his best at 135 pounds is as good as there ever has been.